spoke, I want to read the names off of the people who are going to be bringing in food next week. It's hard to believe that next week we're going to be in May. But Lita, Arlene, Zer, Jim Lewis, Dick Fick, and Barb Slusher. Okay? Boy, we have a bonanza of food today, so please help yourself and eat well. Okay. I do want to announce too that we're having a luncheon in May, and I need to have somebody tell me when it is.
Yeah, no. Good morning, everyone. We're having a lovely spring luncheon planned for you, so mark this date down. Wednesday, May 15th, 12 noon, right here in the Spirit Cafe. We're having sandwiches, different kinds of salads, homemade potato salad for one, and macaroni salad. Oh, but we are having potato salad, right? Oh. Dessert is going to be ice cream, make your own sundae. We'll have all kinds of toppings for you. And our program is going to be games. And we always have a lot of fun when we play games, and Dee Clemmer is our organizer. But if you have a favorite game that you would like to bring, please bring it, and other folks will join you. So I'm sending around the sign-up sheet, and we hope that you can all come and be with us that day. A date to mark is also Wednesday, June 19th. It's our Dine Around Day, and we will be going to Oregon Dairy. You pay for your own lunch. They have separate checks. And you know Oregon Dairy has that delicious ice cream where they give you great big dips. So we hope you'll join us. Oh, and also, those of you who don't know Sean Rainick, the leader of our speaker at our renewal, will be there to just give just a short brief on what he will be talking about at the renewal. And I think you'll love to get to know him. So keep that date in mind, mark it on your calendar. May 15th, Wednesday, May 15th, game day. May 9th.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's good to be together on this day, and I want to say hello to everybody who is at home watching. And I hope we're going to have a great time this morning, and studying the Word, and also studying what God wants to say to us as individuals, because He always, I think, on Thursday morning, God gets up before I do, And he gets me ready to do whatever I do, but it's all up to him. And that happens to be the way it often is. Jesus, 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 there's just something about that name. Master, Savior, Jesus, like the rain after the rain. Jesus, 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 let all heaven and earth proclaim. Kings and kingdoms will all pass away, but there's something about that name. We're studying the parables, and we're going back to Luke, the 15th chapter. We've already visited that chapter when we opened up our Bible study in October with the story of the prodigal son. Well, Jesus has two more stories in that same chapter for the same reason. People who were somebody didn't like Jesus because he hobnobbed with people who were nobodies. And how important it was for Jesus to get this message across, that the people who are nobodies, who according to everyone else who is somebody, is really a nobody and is lost, Jesus wants them. And so these three parables take place. Luke the 15th chapter, we're beginning with verse 1. Now, the tax collectors and the sinners were all gathered around to hear him. But the Pharisees and the teachers of the law muttered, "This man welcomes sinners and eats with them." Then Jesus told them this parable. Suppose one of you have 100 sheep and loses one of them. Doesn't he leave the 99 in the open country? We're assuming that he's leaving them with other shepherds, okay? And go after the lost sheep until he finds it. And when he finds it, he joyfully puts it on his shoulders. Did you ever see that picture that was painted about Jesus and the little, that beautiful picture? And he says, he calls together his friends and he says to them, "Hey, rejoice with me. I found my lost sheep." Well, I tell you that in the same way, there will be more rejoicing in heaven over one sinner who repents than over 99 righteous persons who have no need to repent. And then he goes on with the second one. Or suppose a woman has 10 silver coins and loses one. Does she not light a lamp and sweep the house and search carefully until she finds it? And when she finds it, she calls her friends and neighbors together and she says, "Rejoice with me, I found my lost coin." In the same way, I tell you, there is rejoicing in the presence of the angels of God over the sinner who repents. You think about that. At first glance, what do these twin stories say to you? Think about it for a moment. Anyone have a clue? That's for sure.
lost sheep and valuable things in the world. There are many of them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anything at all?
Everybody's just lost and needs to be found. That's what I'm getting from it. And I would like to thank all of you for your prayers and cards.
Okay.
My takeaway is the found and the rejoicing that is resulting in the found. So the grace of God is what's preeminent in my mind.
Okay. Great. 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 On the boardwalk in Ocean City in the evening when the crowds are traipsing up and down the boardwalk, there's a certain amount of noise, but over that there comes this loud speaker. Your attention, please. There is a little girl who has lost from her parents. Her name is Wendy. She's 5 years old. She has a blue top and white shorts. Her parents are going to be at the music pier. If you get her to them, that will be a wonderful thing, okay? And when you see the crowds of people who are walking up and down and shuffling around and having the time of their lives, and you think about this little girl who suddenly is without anyone, especially her parents, you want to stop and you want to look around and you want to say, oh, God, please find her quick, find her quick. Because just imagine the horror that the little girl is facing and the consternation of the parents who are waiting to see if she can be found quickly. And then maybe 10 minutes later, the loudspeaker will intone, the little girl, Wendy has been found, everything is fine. And you all breathe a collective sigh of relief and you say, that's great. And you kind of get on then with your walk in the boards because it's okay, it's okay. In working through these notes, I was thinking about how important it is for us to realize that, as already been mentioned, that in a sense we are all lost until through Jesus God gets hold of us and we're safely in the flock again. I think sometimes that people take for granted God's imposing presence in their lives. We have a God who is the master of the universe. And just about every year you find out the astronomers, the scientists have pushed the limits of our universe even further out. There seems to be no end to our universe. In fact, there seems to be collective worlds here and there and other worlds, and we're just such a tiny little planet, nondescript anything, because of what we see out there, and we wonder, is God, first of all, is God the creator of all of this? I think it's interesting that no matter who the scientists might be, and there are many of them, who are now believers in the creating force of a deity, a God who is a first cause, because somehow or other there had to be a first cause. And the Big Bang Theory has come along and has been very prominent now in the thinking of many scientists, which means that no matter what you call the first cause, there has to be a mind and a purpose in this. Let's take Albert Einstein, for example, he said in one sentence that he was addressing, I can't believe that God would play roulette or dominoes or something with our universe. I can't believe that there isn't purpose in this. This was Einstein. We know that science will continue to prove out that this whole thing is so incredible that we'll probably never be able to explore it. And even these space runs that are being thinking about, to Mars, and we've already been to the moon and such. They're so tiny in terms of scope. Will we ever get to some place where we feel we really have explored an infinitely appropriate universe that can tell us something about what we're seeking as a people? Bart?
We had a speaker at Woodcrest Villa. This guy is interested in space travel, and he was employed by the government. And he studied the universe and has studied Earth, and found out, he believes, and by facts and statistics that were proven, that the Earth is going to run out of oxygen and is going to collide with another star system where there is Andromeda. But what was fascinating to me was he was employed by the government. So the government has also accepted this and is looking for another Earth. Now those two selections would be Mars and Venus. And there's another one in between called Titan. And the atmosphere there seems to be better than Mars and Venus. Yet with the government's acceptance, they are employing now in their services people like him who was a PhD studying this and are looking for solutions when this occurs.
Holy
I thought it
cow.
fascinating.
That is.
Okay, well, the Milky Way isn't going to collide with Andromeda for like 1 billion years, so I'm not worried about it. But I'm going to give you my cosmic perspective, okay? There's all these billions and billions of galaxies, but for some reason, this is where Satan ended up, and this is where God chose to create humankind to battle with Satan and be victorious, and sent his son to, conquer the evil powers that reside with Satan here on earth. So right now, at this point in time, this is the center of the galaxy, or the center of the universe, because this is where God sent his son. And this is where the cosmic battle is taking place right now. So that's my cosmic perspective. I'm not worried about Andromeda. And I'm not trying to, I
don't think a moving van goes up there, at least not now.
Well, if this fellow that Bart was talking about is correct, I suggest you take some deep breaths so that the air that you have right now is still pure. Okay. Yeah.
Can I just add something about what you said before about the being lost? You were talking about that. Something came into my mind I thought maybe I should share.
Yeah.
When I was 6, my father had a job interview in Washington, D.C. We lived in Vermont at the time. And we drove down there as a family with him for his job interview. And my mother and my sister and I, we said, while he's in this interview, we'll do a few of the museums and experience DC and see what it's like. So we were introduced to the Metro, which is, that subway in DC.
Yeah.
And we were fascinated by that. It was just so quick, like the doors would shut so quick. You just had to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So we were going from one museum to the next, and we went down to the Metro, and it was really busy in there, and I was behind my sister and my mother, and they got into the door and went into the Metro car, and the door closed before I could get in. And I just remember standing there on the platform, and my mother, the look of horror on her face.
Yeah.
As there's a 6-year-old boy,
Yeah.
like, on the platform by himself. And she was clawing at the thing. She was trying to get the door open.
Yeah.
And then it just took off and disappeared, and I was just there on the platform by myself. And
There's got to be a good end to this story because you're here.
well, this is like this is the story of my first prayer. In Sunday school, we had just had, a Sunday school teacher had talked to us about prayer, and, it was very basic at that point because we were little kids, so it was kind of like, you can ask God for help. So I asked God for help, and when I opened my eyes, somebody said, hey, did your family leave? And it was a police officer.
Oh.
It was standing next to me. It's just him and me, like there were only 2 of us there.
Yeah.
And he, I thought I'd never see him again, and they said, no, they'll come back for you. You just wait, I'll stand here and wait with you.
Uh-huh.
And he stayed with me the whole time. It took them maybe 20 minutes to a half an hour to get to another station, to go through the thing, come back the other way, figure out what station to get back to. And then eventually they came back. But that was a story
It
of...
was scary, wasn't it?
For one thing, it was that joy of, like, getting back with your family. As a kid, that was like a real lesson for me, like how valuable your mother and your sister, as a boy, sometimes you feel like, there's like this animosity with your sister. Like, so God did something in me where he taught me really early, like, man, this is important. This family, like, you got to love your family and care. And also, if you turn to God, he'll help you.
Oh, that's neat.
So that was a...
Yeah, Bart, again.
We went to Ocean City, and they have that amusement park there.
Mm-hmm.
And our grandson, who was very small at the time, he wandered off. We didn't know it, but he went to look at the railroad train that was there, the little train that went around. And so what I did was I asked God for help, for finding him. So if you
Sure.
lose something, you can ask God. And you know what? There he was.
There you go.
Even though we tried to lose him, we found him again.
And that's what this story is all about, isn't it? Exactly. How personal, absolutely personal, and this is in contrast to the vastness of the universe, how very intimately personal, caring is God, that there's no wonder that Jesus referred to God not as the great creator, not as the awesome being. He never talks about God like that. What does he say? God is Father. Father. That's how you and I know that we can pray to him and things do happen, because he is our heavenly parent. So we don't need to worry really about the vastness of the cosmos and such. What we need to be confronting ourselves and our own thinking with, if God is our God, then he is so close to us, closer than the very air that we breathe, and we can call him Father. Now, both the Old Testament and the New, especially the Gospels, God is like a shepherd. A shepherd is a strange person in our day and age because, well, first of all, we don't see that many of them out there. And being a city slicker like I was, I never came in contact with a sheep. But biblically, the shepherd was kind of pretty low on the pecking situation. He couldn't take care of himself religiously because he was always out there with the flock. he was responsible, extremely so, for every sheep that was in his care. And if he should happen to lose a sheep, he was responsible for it. And there were dire things that could take place if the shepherd did not manage to somehow come back with the sheep or the remains of the sheep if a wild animal had attacked it. So the shepherd had to be vigilant, and he had to be always on guard. That's why he had the staff in which that crook would extricate a sheep if it was in trouble, caught in a briar or something like that. And he had this club-like thing that was maybe 3 to 5 feet long, and it was a heavy piece of wood with a knob on the end of it. And this was his defensive mechanism when he had to be confronted by either an animal or brigands, thieves that were willing to take the sheep away from him. And then, of course, there was the sling, which was brought into our attention with David and Goliath. And from what we have gathered from past years, and these were not too far gone, these shepherds were deadly accurate with what they did. They took this sling and whirled it around and let it go, and that thing had a velocity that was so high that anything it struck, it would make a difference. And this is why Goliath succumbed to that one stone. They were deadly accurate, okay? But shepherds didn't seem to matter to the people who were holy and righteous. They were the Pharisees and the Sadducees and the lawyers of the day. These people could never enter the temple and do anything because they weren't religious enough and such. Now, why did God, through Christ, determine that these sheep were the symbols of those who are, of all of us are lost, are out there? Why did this analogy take place in the gospel story? You remember what Jesus said, point out, I am the good shepherd. But he also said something else. The good shepherd will give himself over for the sake of the sheep. In other words, he would either have his life suspended or killed in order to save a sheep. He also said, I am the door of the sheep. And that was interesting because when in the evening they brought all the sheep into a pen, the pen might have a railing about 3/4 of the way around, but just an opening in one end of it. And the shepherd would lie down in front of the, right in between, the spokes of the fence, and he would be the door, so that no sheep could get by him without him knowing it, or could an enemy or a beast get in there with him lying across there. So he was the door to the sheep. The sheep were so important to him that our Lord, when he thought of himself in terms of people, he seemed to always gravitate towards the idea of the shepherd and the sheep. And in one sense, that's what we are to him. We are his sheep, and he tends to us like a shepherd. That's a beautiful story when you think about how this combination of words as he moves around through the scriptures about Jesus, the shepherd, the sheep. And the problem with the religious people of the day was that they couldn't abide by I imagine the shepherds had quite an odor to them, being around all the sheep, and they were out there. They had no bathing possibilities, and so they were, kind of shunned, and yet they were so important for the economy of Israel that to be ignored like they were, it was pretty sad. So Jesus likened himself to the shepherd. Okay. So now, a shepherd is responsible for a sheep. where did that one go? Where could it possibly have? Sheep are notoriously stupid from what we rather. They just wander off and they just go their own way and they don't have any idea just what's going on. The only thing they had is that contact with the shepherd. And if they wandered too far away from the shepherd, they had themselves quite a problem. But the shepherd knew each sheep by name. Many times, combined flocks would be housed in the pen overnight. And in order to separate them, all the shepherds plural had to do was each one call the sheep in his particular way of his inclination with and the sheep would recognize that shepherd and go off with him. Then the other shepherd would call in his own way, and his sheep would follow him because they recognized his voice. And that's how it all worked out. Jesus said, wouldn't a good shepherd, because he cares so much about his sheep, would he not leave even the 99 to go out to find the one who is lost? Doesn't that say something about how much Jesus cares about us? That he would relate his life story to that of being a shepherd. We in America, in fact throughout the world, I think, we have lost our way. And I don't mean to politicize, and I'm not going to, but we seem to have lost our sense of where we started from. We started from the God who loved us, and in our continental elaborations and the founding fathers and their declarations in their writings, they were filled with words from the scriptures. These people knew their Bible frontwards and backwards, and so they related in so many ways and so many times to the scriptures and to their devotion to God. And we look now at this, that's going on today, and we say, we've lost our way, haven't we? And somehow or other God needs to get hold of us. And I believe that the only way is if our Lord Jesus finds people who really lost will come back and make what we think is a good start for our country. Our country needs this, doesn't it? I think you probably agree with that. All right. Go ahead.
Frequently in this day and age, you hear the word sheeple.
Yeah.
Sheeple, because there's so many followers. And they'll go right along with whatever rules and regulations have been promulgated by the government, and the sheep will follow and grow in size. The flock seems to grow in size, not diminish.
That's interesting. Interesting. Okay. Any other thoughts on this? I'm going to move away from this part, but because I don't want to in any way sound political, but
No, there's something on the screen.
okay.
I watch some shows on the Lighthouse Channel, and the one is Origins. And they talk about creation, they talk about the flood, and there are scientists that their sole workings is to prove the Bible, to show that the Bible is absolutely true. And various scientists look at different animals and how the animals make changes within themselves. And they said by seeing this, they know there has to be a designer who created those abilities in these animals. It's not something that could just happen by chance. And so they have talked about creation versus evolution. And what they say is people who want to believe in evolution do not want to have God included in anything. That's a substitute for God. That's to leave God out. Because God created everything, and to think that you had this small little amoeba that developed into this and something developed into that. And they also said that the earth is not millions of years old. It's thousands. And so it's very interesting. It's on Friday at, I think that one is on at 7:30. It's also on Sunday afternoon, and I forget if this one is 2 o'clock or if it's 2:30. There's two I watch. The other one is Digging for Truth. It's archaeology. And so if you have any interest in watching very interesting shows on the Lighthouse Channel, it's very interesting.
Okay. Let's turn to the third chapter in our front page, okay? Or do you have another, anyone else? All right. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, when I toured Ireland, I learned an awful lot about sheep because the tour guide was very fluent in his knowledge. And we had the opportunity to watch some shepherds training their dogs. And those sheep are really dumb. I mean, bless their hearts, they were so docile, and they just went, and that dog sure knew how to take care of them. So we can consider ourselves as Christians as sheepdogs. That's why I love the Shetland sheepdog so much.
Sheepdogs, yeah.
But the way that shepherd taught that dog to bring those sheep into a fold, and he used a whistle, and so I guess that would be the same as the shepherd's voices or his tones. And it was just so interesting to watch that, because those sheep would just follow right after, and that dog would make sure every one of them got where he was supposed to be.
Okay, thank you. Okay, third paragraph. Jesus had been criticized by the Pharisees for the company he kept. It seemed that he was constantly in the company of what needed people. Jesus often said something to that those who don't need a doctor, or those who are already, set, but they don't need me, but the people who need me, and this is the way he worked. The answer was so obvious it blew right past these stalwarts of the religious elite. His love, and this is the key to all Jesus, was focused on, I have come to seek and to save those who are lost. And who were they? Well, they were the tax collectors, the irreligious persons, the Jewish outcasts, the shepherds included, moral failures, and people like you and me, okay? In one sense, we have been lost, and we have been found by Christ, and we are now part of his flock. But, even that could happen, that people will wander away from the flock, following their own devices. And so our Lord was particularly interested in those who were lost in some way or another, and that was why he made the analogy of the shepherd and the sheep. Does God know? Does God really care? Haven't you and I asked this question time and again, and we say, okay, yeah, we're Christian, we believe in God, we accepted Christ, and then something happens in our lives or to those whom we love, and we just ponder about it, and we say, Lord, I don't understand you. Okay. And this is where the rubber hits the road when our faith is being tested like this. There is so much that focuses on us to feel our insignificance. We've got a war going on over in the Middle East. We've got a couple of them. We've got all kinds of horror stories that appear all the time. Where is God when all this is happening? this is big stuff. Does he really care about my little part of the world? And when we think about it, we say, well, no, wait. Okay, he's the God of the universe, but he is the good shepherd, and I am one of his sheep. And yes, he cares for me. I love that song that we sing. He careth for you. He careth for you. Through sunshine and shadow, he careth for you. And that's something that we need to focus on at every point in our life. We may not be able to really understand the absolute vastness of God's universe and what God has planned for all of this and that and the other. We need to care about what God is planning for us as individuals, because God is creator, he is vast, he is all this kind of thing, but he's our shepherd, he's our father, and he cares about us. And when we can't believe that, we are lost in our maze of, I don't understand God. We only can understand it because he is the good shepherd, the Father, and he cares about us. And so Jesus said, the shepherd will leave the 99 maybe in the care of other shepherds, but he goes after the one, and our Lord doesn't give up on us, and that's the wonderful part about it. He doesn't give up on us, and he keeps seeking us, and that's where you and me, I'm having a hard time with words today. I don't know why. But that's where you and I come into the picture. You may not realize it, but you may be God's answer to the one who is either losing it or is lost out there. And what you say and how you act to people, especially the ones who need that kind of help, that's what God is calling you to be, the shepherd that brings the sheep back to him. Okay? All right. Let's flip the other side, shall we? We'll see where we are. Now, this is the other amazing truth, that God cares so much that in our modern idiom, he has our picture on his refrigerator. And when we fail him, when we were among the many who have wandered after our own desires, when our place in his kingdom is missing, when we've lost what is we should have most valued, our relationship with our Lord Jesus, he will be there searching for us. There is a little chorus, and we just sang it. Aboard a naval vessel, periodically it's very interesting how you're busy doing whatever chores you have to do on board ship or just relaxing or something, and then all of a sudden this big bullhorn voice comes over now hear this, now hear this. Attention, and then the voice will come in and tell you what's going on or what should be doing and such. And every crewman had better listen up. Now hear this, dear friends. This is your captain speaking. Well, you and I have our captain speaking, and the captain's direction is in the way that we respond to what he wants us to be and do in terms of other people. And you and I, we may not realize the lostness of other people with whom we, are friends, and we gravitate to people, or they come to us, and we may not realize spiritually how they are in their own way, but many of them, they are lost. They have no direction. They wandered. They may have been good Sunday school students, you know, when they were children growing up. They may have been in the church for a while, but they're no longer interested. They've wandered away. And when our God speaks to us, he appoints us as what? His under-shepherds, to be the shepherd that he wants us to be, because he is the good shepherd, and he is seeking, maybe through us, what it is that he wants to see happen in the lives of those who are lost. The other story is it's interesting because the woman who has lost her coin in biblical days, she might have I don't know what a tiara is, but I'm thinking that something that fitted around her head as a married woman, and they have precious coins that fit into this thing that goes around. And these are more than just monetary things. These are something of bigger value. And if the coin had come loose, remember the guy not too long ago in the paper who lost his wedding ring? And there was a big push on that, you know, oh, the poor guy. And somebody found it for him, and the newspapers and WGAL, I know, made a big deal out of all this, how grateful he was and such. If a woman had a precious anything and she would lose it, well, where would it be found? The ground was not cement or a rug or anything. It was a lot of rushes that were filled in on the ground, and, you know, a lot of stuff that's there. She would have a hard time if we're small enough. But if she found it, what a wonderful thing. Have you ever lost your ring or something very important to you and you just went crazy trying to figure out what happened? This is the other side of that story about the lostness of people. Some people do lose their way, and when they lose their way, they don't know how to they don't know how to find it. And that's why you and I have this privilege of being an under-shepherd for the Good Shepherd, to, in our own special way, be the one who kind of, you know, reaches out and helps to bring that person back. And here's the interesting part. Jesus said, there's so much joy in heaven. You know, wow, high fives all around. Look at who just came back into the fold, you know, great stuff, wow. And regarding the woman, you know, even the angels in heaven get really excited about this thing. Not because the other 99 aren't important. They are important, but they're safe. Do you remember that old song, Safe in the Arms of Jesus? Safe, I can't remember the complete name. We're safe. But the others who aren't, God cares about them, really cares about them. And that's why Jesus, as the Good Shepherd, now has us as his under-shepherds, because we care about them. It's not always easy to be an under-shepherd, is it? But the wonderful part about it is that God gives us the privilege. And somewhere down the line, when we get to heaven, there'll be a few high fives up there too, because somebody is up there and says, you know why I'm there? Because of Mary or John, or, you know, because of you. What an incredible, you know, what an incredible joy you will be finding when somebody says, I'm here because she found me, or Jesus. Okay? Any thoughts on this? Okay, who's awake?
Well, when you were talking about being on board ship, and they get your attention by saying, now hear this, and then this is the captain speaking. Don't you wish sometimes that God would say in a loud voice to you, this is God speaking to you? I sure wish that happened sometimes. sometimes we feel that it's God speaking to us, but we would like to hear that voice, that loud voice say, this is God speaking to you, Seal. Listen.
Sometimes it's the wife who does that. And we better pay attention, right?
I can usually tell it's God speaking to me when it's something that I really don't expect. He never says to me the expected. It's always the unexpected. It's like one day I was reading our church newsletter on my sofa, and there was a medical team going to Honduras, and I looked at the date, and I had never been on a mission trip. And I said, wow, those fools are going to Honduras in the rainy season. And this voice just said, you're going with them. And I went with them. It was pretty amazing. It was my first mission trip. Really amazing.
Thank you. That's great. Yeah.
When you were talking about the sheep, I always think, like you said, that they don't recognize his voice. And the ones that did stop recognizing his voice are the ones that wandered off, and then he had to go out after them. And I felt like that's what happened to the old country. Thinking of all the people that live there as sheep, they didn't recognize the word of the Lord. They didn't recognize the Bible, which is the word of the Lord, and they started falling away. So then God gave us America, a brand new world. And I remember when I was young, they took a poll and 84% of Americans were Christians. And now it's less than 50, the way I understand it. So I look at it that we're all sheep, or the citizens are falling away from recognizing the word. They're not recognizing or following the Bible, which is the word.
Okay. All righty. Yeah, Bart?
I don't know if this is relevant or not, but I'm watching Facebook, and I see these Oriental girls going out in streams and finding these giant clams. And they pry open the clams, and these magnificent pearls come out, like they were lost and they're finding them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I'd like to do that.
Oh, don't clam up, Bart. We need you.
I'm reading a book right now that is kind of a comparison to this. It's called The Women, and it's about the nurses that served in Vietnam. And the one girl had served 2 tours of duty in Vietnam. When she came back, she had lots of problems and was probably like the lost sheep. And it wasn't, if it weren't for her 2 friends that stayed with her and guided her back to being almost normal, it kind of compares to this, that she was the lost sheep, and now they took the responsibility of helping to bring her back.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. There is more joy in heaven over one lost sheep than the 99. Isn't that a startling statement by our Lord Jesus? That's how important people are, you know. Did I mention that chorus, safe in the arms of Jesus, you know, and we're safe in the arms of Jesus, but how about the people who are not? They really need, really need, and you can imagine the joy in heaven when one of them comes back. As a pastor, I had, at the Church of the Good Shepherd, I had a wonderful couple whose daughter just got all messed up, and she went into Philadelphia, and we didn't know where she was going or what was happening, but the father decided he wanted to try to find out because he had a few clues. And I said, well, why don't I go with you? So we went into, I got into the some of the craziest looking places you'd ever want to see because looking for her, and she found herself, no, she did not find herself. She found herself through somebody else that was neither him or me. And she came back to the family and had a wonderful time as a Christian. You got to give yourself over to trying to do that, and that's why I'm talking about being an under shepherd, not in a technical church sense, but in a pastoral sense. Okay. All righty. Anything else? We've got a few minutes before we quit.
I think Audrey would like to make an announcement about your
Okay, I just want to mention, anybody wishing to read the poetry that's in now, it will only be in the month of April, and then we're going to be honored with artwork from Bart for the month of May. Pardon?
Okay. Anything? Okay, let's look to the Lord in prayer, shall we? Let's prayer requests, gang.
Well, one is John. John Pavelko is having a lot of problems with allergies and coughing and not being able to sleep at night. So we want to remember him in our prayers.
Yeah. And of course, as the papers have pointed out, the pollution in this county is something else. Who? Oh, yeah.
My brother Jim in Carolina, who's going through cancer treatments.
What is his name?
Jim.
Jim, okay.
George Bagley,
Oh, George.
he had pacemaker put it in or re-put, I'm not sure what the
Yeah.
situation was, but
Yeah.
yeah, he and
Yeah.
Diane both need our prayers.
Right. Mike?
Just praise for Phyllis's recovery and coming back, and my wife's recovery from her kidney stone, that we're back almost to normal.
Oh, good. Yeah, whatever normal is. Did anybody ever pray for normalcy?
Would you keep Kristen, the lady that I asked for last week, my daughter's friend from college? She started chemo on Tuesday, but there's not much promise for it.
Okay, all right, thank you. Jane. All right. Okay, let's look to the Lord, may we? Heavenly Father, we look to you for our buddy John, and we just want the best for him, and we pray, Lord, that you will place your healing touch on him. And George and Diane Bagley, Lord, they have been through so much, and this latest episode, I'm sure, has left George quite weak, and we want so much for him. And then, Lord, for Jim, may your healing touch be in his life. And Lord, we think of Christian, and we just want so much for the best thing for her. Lord God, please receive our prayers for her. Then for Phyllis, Lord, and we just ask, especially thanking you for her and for what you're doing in her life. And then Dee, Lord, we just pray that this thing will just work out so beautifully that she'll be free of this problem. Be with us as we go our several ways today. May your guidance be very much felt in all that we say and do. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay.
I should have mentioned that most of you know Frank and Joyce Young. Yeah, Frank's mother passed away yesterday.